ready for an adventure. Today I'm heading out to Portobello with Ashley and Leanne, which reminded me that on one of our previous day trips last year in 2022, where we spent the day in Morningside and Bruntsfield in South Edinburgh, I took you along with me and shared with you some of my favourite spots, places to eat, shops to visit, little interesting historical and personal facts about the area that you might enjoy to see a little bit of the city in case you're just curious or might be visiting. So today, like I mentioned, we're heading to Portobello, aka Porty, which is in the east of Edinburgh, and it's somewhere that's actually very close to my heart because it's where I spent most of my teenage years. I went to Portobello High School, which was it's still a secondary school in East Edinburgh, but it's moved locations. When I went, it was in a slightly different locale from where it is now, super close to Portobello High Street. That was where I spent my lunches, it was where I spent my weekends and a lot of my evenings with my friends. So yeah, it was somewhere I grew up, but it's actually changed a lot in the past few years. There's a lot of new places and a lot of new shops and cafes that weren't there when I was a teenager, certainly. But most importantly, it's actually where you'll find the largest and most populated beach in Edinburgh. So Portobello Beach and Pier is where you want to head if you want to date the beach in Edinburgh. It's the closest thing to a sandy coastline that you'll find in this city. But despite how cold Edinburgh usually is, it can be really lovely in the summer and nice for a windy walk in the winter, which is what we'll be doing today. So yeah, you're coming with me today. We're going to visit some bookshops, we're going to visit possibly some charity shops, some chippies, some cafes, the beach, and whatever else takes my fancy. And hopefully you'll get to see a little bit more of Edinburgh that you've potentially not seen before or are just curious about my thoughts on it. So let's get on with it, shall we? So as most of us here are massive book nerds, it only seemed natural to kick off our tour of Portobello with a little visit to Portobello Bookshop. This bookshop opened in 2019, so it's relatively new to the city in the grand scheme of things. But over the past few years, it has quickly cemented itself as an absolute staple to local residents, myself included. I adore this bookshop. It has such a nice wide array of books on offer for all different age ranges and in all different genres. It's also incredibly well laid out, spacious, and has wheelchair access, which is very, very important. If before, after, or during your book shopping, however, you get a little craving for some coffee and cake, then the natural place to go is right next door. This coffee shop is gorgeous. They have such an incredible array of cakes, pastries, and sweet delicacies. You will not be low on sugar when you leave this place. And they do incredible coffee and tea, which you can also buy from their shop as well. I absolutely love this place, it's so delicious. There are also a ton of charity shops in Portobello, so if you like a little bit of thrifting or a bargain, this is the perfect place to wander down the high street and pop into a few of the local options to you. St Columba's Hospice charity shop is always my favourite, both because they have a great selection and because it's a cause I really, really care about. If you'd like to buy something new, however, over the past few years, a number of very lovely independent gifting type shops have popped up in Portobello, which stock a range of independent brands and Scottish artisanal brands, which is really, really nice if you want to buy something from a local creator or a small business and are in the market for a gift either for yourself or somebody else. You will no doubt find one on this high street. But a lot of the places I've shown you so far are newer additions to Portobello. If you're interested in a staple of Portobello that I've been visiting since I was a child and probably would recommend over visiting anywhere else in Portobello, it's the St Andrew's Chip Shop. This is my favourite chippy in Edinburgh. I swear it does the best chips. I don't eat fish, so I can't speak to that, but I hear great things. I can, however, highly recommend their half pizza and chips, which if you're not Scottish or not from Scotland, you might not know, is a bit of a delicacy here. And yes, it is half a fried pizza with chips. Honestly, one of my top things you should get whilst in Scotland if you've not been before. Naturally, the best place to take in the fresh air as well as eat your chips is always the beach, however, so make sure to wander off the high street down the road and you will find yourself on Portobello Beach. The pier is perfect for a stroll, whether it's the colder months like now or it's sunny and summery. Whichever you choose, you're going to have a really nice time. It's a lovely location, and you can always check out some of the local cafes on the pier itself. Beach House is one of my favourites, and in the summer when you can sit outside, it's really lovely to check out. They do a fantastic lunch. And I had to mention that there are arcades if you're interested in some penny slot machines, because these were my childhood. So yeah, lots and lots to do in Portobello.